Hi friends, the story I have for you is called The Shoemaker and the Elves. It's kind of like our story that we listened to a couple weeks ago about the Shoemaker and the Elves. We'll have to see if it's a little the same, or very different. This is retold by Nadia Higgins and illustrated by Flavia Sorrentino. Which is more fun, giving gifts or getting gifts? It's hard to say, isn't it? They both feel great. The Shoemaker and the Elves is an old story about gifts. The gifts are such a surprise they feel magical. Let's listen to the story of the Shoemaker and the Elves. A poor old shoemaker said to his wife, "I've almost no leather, I'm sorry to say." He laid out the pieces for one last pair, then went to bed to forget the day. In the morning the leather was gone. Oh, what a wonder, what a surprise! 2 elegant shoes so perfectly made were perched on the bench before his eyes. Before the man knew it, the shoes were sold. They went for double the usual price. He bought and cut leather for 2 more pairs. Again, someone finished the shoes overnight. For days and days this magic went on. First 2, then 4, then 8 pairs stitched. Said the old shoemaker to his wife, "By golly, my darling, we have become rich." The shoes. Who goes there? Who's up all night? Stitching shoes for our delight. Shoes so splendid, extraordinaire. Come one, come all, and buy a pair. That night the 2 stayed up to see whose nimble hands sewed with such care. They held their breath behind a door, then gasped out loud at who was there. It was 2 elves in tattered clothes, who stitched and sewed without a yawn. The poor elves had no shoes on themselves, but still they worked until the dawn, till morning time. Who goes there? Who's up all night, stitching shoes for our delight? Shoes so splendid, extraordinaire. Come one, come all, and buy a pair. The shoemaker swallowed a lump in his throat. "We ought to help," his kind wife said. He made each elf a pair of boots. His wife sewed coats with finest thread. That night the elves had quite a shock. They never had a gift before. They hugged their coats like teddy bears. They stomped their boots upon the floor. The 2 elves slid into their coats. "Oh, look at us, we're fine to see." Right then and there they made a pledge. "No longer cobblers we will be." Then the elves danced out the door. They never did come back again. As for the shoemaker and his wife, they worked and prospered till the end. Who goes there? Who's up all night, stitching shoes for our delight? Shoes so splendid, extraordinaire. Come one, come all, and buy a pair. The end. Was that kind of the same? Exactly the same or different? In our story, there were 3 elves. In this story, there was only 2. And they made different types of clothes in the story that we read for reading than what they got. They got coats and boots in this one. All right. I hope you enjoyed the story.